What up, people? Welcome to another edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, best in the world at what he does. This week, my subtitle to this episode will be "The New York Jets Will Be My Downfall." And as you can see that little tick at the bottom, the New York Jets lose again. This time to the Indianapolis Colts, 28-27. It's not even a loss that got me pissed off. There's a whole myriad of reasons why I'm pissed off about this loss, even though I've known for the last 2 to 3 weeks that the season has been effectively over. Why am I even subjecting myself to such insanity by watching the same shit over and over and over and over and over again? I don't know. Is it because green pumps in my blood through my bloodstream? If so, maybe I need to get that shit checked out. Maybe it's because that I've been a Jet fan for, once again, I will reiterate it, I've been a Jet fan for 42 glorious years. Well, at least 42 glorious years of mine, but 42 years of misery. All because my young ass could not get on my tippy toes and turn the channel from Channel 4, NBC New York, to Channel 2, WCBS, New York. If things would have been differently, maybe, just maybe, I would be a fan of Big Blue. And yeah, you're probably wondering, well, Big Blue, they had a bye week, and they're 2-8? Well, guess what? In about 42 years, they've won 4 championships. We've gone to 4 championship games. Anyway, this is not going to be a long episode. I got a lot of things to cram in a very short amount of time, so I'm going to get this shit on the way. But let me let you know what's on deck, what's on tap this week. I'll be talking about my New York Jets and their latest debacle at home against these Indianapolis Colts. Then I will bring back a segment that I haven't even unveiled during this new NFL season, but it's one of those tried and true segments that is near the end of my heart and more importantly, near the end of my pocket. Because yes, Mike Steph has gotten back on the gambling train. And when Mike Steph gets back on the gambling train, especially when he loses, there's one question that comes to my head. There's one question that comes to the masses' heads. There's one question that comes to the dozens and dozens of Mike Steph listeners and viewers out there, and that's this. Mike Steph must have bumped his mother effing head. Yes, the return of that segment is going to be this week because I have 2 teams that's going to get the brunt of my ire, and one relative that's definitely going to get the brunt of my ire because I can actually effectively curse his ass out on my platform without having to be discreet, without having to be cognizant of the fact that, you know, the sponsors on HGF. HGF is an entity of the 19 Media Group. So I have to be aware and I have to be sensitive of the fact that my actions can negatively reflect on the rest of the 19 MG. But on the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, I have no such restrictions because guess what? Mike Steph doesn't give a natural you-know-what. And only because it's less than 5 minutes am I not actually going to drop the F-bomb. But trust and believe, they are coming. So with all that being said, let's get this show underway. Let's get this show on the road. Without further ado, good night. And goodbye. Bye.
Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, this marks a new beginning. Thanks for supporting a total reinvention. The soul is still here, but the vibe's a little different. Unpredictable, hide the kids and the women. Sports sports of all sorts, music mixed with living. Rep New York City, but hate the politicians. Always bring the heat, Steph baking in the kitchen. Big shout to y'all, I appreciate the listen. Donnie put the rest, but I'm still in the best in the world of what I do. All y'all know the rest. I live it, I breathe it, I'm the whole definition. The pinnacle, the ultimate, I'm on a new mission. The salty thoughts of Mike Steph, featuring the one and only Mike Steph.
The New York Jets this Sunday afternoon lost again. This time to the Indianapolis Colts by the score of 28-27. We were down 13-zip at one time. 13-zip. We came back and scored 14 unanswered points between the second and third quarters to take a brief 14-13 lead. At the beginning of the fourth quarter, we actually were up 8 points. 24-16. And you would think that would be enough. You would think that would be enough to maybe massage the ill will, the bad feeling from last week's trouncing in the desert. Oh no. I'm looking at this game and I'm in utter disgust, but I'll get to that in a very few minutes. I'm going to just throw some stats out here for you and some commentary after those stats. And you tell me what's wrong with this picture that I'm painting. The New York Jets, matter of fact, Anthony Richardson, yeah, this guy right here, looked like he just busted a load. Anthony Richardson completed 20 of 30 for 272 yards and 1 touchdown in his first game back from being benched for Joe Flacco. I repeat, his first game back from being benched for Joe Flacco. And one would think, well, maybe the benching did him some good. Maybe the benching allowed him to reassess the situation, hit the playbook, hit the films, and come back with a vengeance. Because I don't think Anthony Richardson has ever completed 2/3 of his passes in a game. As minuscule as even 2 for 3, he's never completed. But yet, leave it up to my Jets to allow him to slice and dice the Jets defense, not only with his legs, but with his arm as well. Here's another stat. And you tell me, if you just read this number, you would think that the opposite outcome would be true. That the Jets would not have lost to these Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor had 24 rushes for 57 yards, a long of 10. So that means he had 23 rushes for 47 yards. A paltry average of less than 2.5 yards per carry. You would think that due to the Achilles heel of the New York Jets being the running game, that if you hold Jonathan Taylor to 57 yards rushing, you should win that game, right? Oh, are you mistaken? Anthony Richardson also scored 2 touchdowns with his almighty legs. The 2 that he runs with, not the one. Anyway, I digress. I'm not going to get all in the minutia of the game because I'm speaking strictly off emotion. Strictly off emotion. I'm not going to have all the in-depth stats and analysis. I'm not going to have, the next gen. I'm not going to have the behind the scenes coverage. No. I'm going to speak on straight emotion. I wasn't even supposed to be doing the podcast this weekend. Y'all didn't know that because there was a possibility that I had maybe in mind, a couple retreat 3.5, but that didn't come to fruition. And probably for the best because we were just having a good time, shooting the breeze, enjoying each other's company. It was a beautiful time. Chef Mix was in the building. Man of NK was in the building. Sister Steph and Brother Lamar was in the building. Auntie and Uncle Muhammad was in the building. The God Unique was in the building. Everybody was in the building. Great time at the Poconos. It was somebody's birthday. My brother Mark's birthday. Not going to divulge how old he was, how old he turned, but needless to say, it was a surprise birthday par excellence. And boy, did we eat. But regardless, not going to get too much into that. I'm having a great time. Today, which was moving day, meaning, everybody had to start getting their stuff together, and bid adieu to each other to go to their various places of rest. Got up, watching the game. People was watching the game. Multifaceted games. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. New Orleans and Cleveland. The Lions and the Jaguars. And I had to remind myself for a minute that no, you are not in the city that never sleeps. No, you are not in the Big Apple. Because I'm like, yo, why are we watching the Ravens and the Steelers? But I was like, oh yeah, because I'm in Pennsylvania. Duh. And plus, only my black ass was a New York Jets fan. So, I'm like, okay, watch this. Plus, I got some money on these games. There's some rooting interest there. And a brother was like, yo, you a Jet fan, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, I could put the Jets fan. I could put the Jets on for you. It's like, nah, no reason. He's like, why? I'm a Giants fan. They're off. I'm watching another team. I'm like, yeah, but listen, all they're gonna do is lose. See, I was already mentally preparing myself for the letdown. So I was like, you know what? Why would I ruin this splendid weekend that I experienced on the New York Jets? A team that's going nowhere fast, a team that is dull, a team that is out for themselves, a team that is inept, a team that is downright miserable. Why would I subject myself to that when I'm having a great, grand old time? But ego, my Jet fandom, got the best of me. So it's like, no, okay, watch. We could do the 4-way. Watch all the games. And I'm watching them because I'm already getting the little notifications. 7-0. Okay. 10-0. Okay. 13-0. Okay. I'm already like zoned out. Like I ain't fucking with y'all. My son had the Jets on a parlay. I don't know why. The guy had the Jets in the parlay. I don't know why. I've learned my lesson from that. I no longer include the New York Jets in any of my parlays, of any of my bets. And guess what? I want to say over the last 4 times, my last 4 indulgences, I'm betting 500. I'm shooting 50%. Great. like I said, we'll get into the betting aspect a little bit later. But I'm like, all right, you know what? Pulling my card. Sure, his team is worse than I am. They're 2-8. I'm 3-7. Yeah, listen, this is all right. Fuck it. Watch the game. Watch the game. And I'm in utter shock when we're up by 8. And I'm trying not to really get attached to it. And I'm like, the other shoe's going to drop eventually. The other shoe's going to drop eventually. Already knew what was going to happen. I've seen the script before. This is a team that if they would have cut their kicker maybe a couple weeks earlier, we might have been able to salvage some games, but neither here nor there. So we finally get a replacement kicker. We like what we see. And guess what they do? The only thing the New York Jets can do, fuck it up. You don't sign them. You leave them on the practice squad. And guess who scoops them up? The Kansas City Chiefs. So we had to go to the scrap heap and get a kicker. And the kicker, Anders Carlson, kicked a career high, a career long 58-yard field goal to give us a tenuous 1-point lead. Then, in an ensuing drive, Aaron Rodgers passed to Kenny Yeboah for an 11-yard touchdown to put us up by 8. And Aaron Rodgers wanted to go for 2. I get his point of view, but I'm like, look, we're up by 8. Our defense has been okay in the second half. Put it on the defense. And sure enough, 2 minutes later, Anthony Richardson drives the team down for a touchdown to bring them within 2. Not only that, the worst part about it was the fact that it was 2 minutes and 52 seconds, 70 yards, and 8 plays. Only thing that saved us was they did not convert on the 2-point conversion. So we get the ball back and we drive down the field and we're eating up the clock. And it gets to a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, something to that effect. Aaron Rodgers wanted to go for it. He said in the post-game conference that he felt before the game they needed to score 30. So great teams would have cashed in, would have scored 7 instead of settling for the 3 that we ultimately did. But here's the egregious error in judgment. If you decide that you're going to kick the field goal, then you kick the field goal. If you decide that you're going to go for it, then you go for it. What you do not do is use your last timeout in an attempt to draw them offside, which everybody knew on their sideline or outside line in the stands what we were trying to do. And then you call timeout. And then you kick the field goal. So not only do you lose your last timeout, you stop the clock and give them ample enough time to drive down for the winning touchdown. And people would be like, well, before the game, you would think, well, look, if you're up by 5 and you're depending on Anthony Richardson to drive his team down the field to beat you with a touchdown, I like my chances. But like I said, the ensuing drive before that, 8 plays, 70 yards, 2 minutes, and 52 seconds. So do you know what happened? Not only did they do it again, they did it better. This time, it was 6 plays, 70 yards, and a touchdown. In less than 2 minutes. 1:55 to be exact. helped by, I believe, a 39-yard completion to Josh Downs on a broken coverage by Ahmed Gardner. Yeah, I said it. Ahmed Gardner. But that mother effer ain't Sauce anymore. He ain't. You know, I know why. But we suck. We suck. He sucks. They suck. Everybody sucks. It's a suckathon. It's a orgy of suckitude. What made it worse was he blew the coverage. Yes, Gardner blew the coverage on top of the fact that I don't think it'll probably be prudent for me to wear that jersey anymore this year, this season. He blew the coverage, and then the first thing he did was you know what they say when you're pointing the finger, 3 fingers are pointing back at you. And that's what he effectively did. He hung out. Not only did he hang his teammate out to dry on the play, he hung his teammate out to dry after the play. So what did that lead? Where did that lead? That lead to them scoring a touchdown. Of course, you know what side they went to? They went to the left side, which is inhabited by Michael Clemens, who once again crashed, and Anthony Richardson just bulldozed his way into the end zone. 28-27. And you know how the game ended? The way it should have ended, with Aaron Rodgers on his ass. Sacked. Can we just end the fucking season? Huh? Can we just end the season? I'm asking. You know, my brother, Mr. Low Fat Beats, that was his acronym. Man, shoot. If I was you, I don't know why you root for those Jets. You know what Jets stand for? Just in the season. And how can I say this with just a little bit of respect? Self-respect, that is. That I actually agree with him right now. Just in the season. We got 6 more games. 6 more games. 6. Stats. For all my Spanish-speaking people out there. Stats. Sexto. Yeah. Listen. I think I'm being borderline disrespectful, but just saying. Let me read this schedule there. The remaining schedule, and you tell me how many effing wins we got. We got Seattle. Mike Stepph's hidden gem pick of the week with survival pools. Yeah. Mike effing Steph. But yeah, we got Seattle coming in, the Geno Bowl coming in after the bye. That's probably a loss. Miami for the first time this season at Miami. Miami's riding high with Tua back behind center. And we have nothing to win. We have nothing to win for. We have nothing to play for. So you know the boys are going to go down to South Beach and get fucked up with a 1:00 p.m. kickoff. Loss. And then we're going to stay in the great state of Florida. And face the Jacksonville Jaguars, who coincidentally fired both their GM and their head coach after this week's debacle. We thought that the Jets were fucked up. Man, they lost to the Detroit Lions today, 52-6. But you know what's going to be worse? The fact that we're going to lose to these cocksuckers. Then we come back home to welcome the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams. Yeah. Los Angeles Rams beat the Patriots, something we didn't do. 28-22. They win this 4 of the last 5. They're probably going to be in playoff contention. Meanwhile, we're licking our wounds. The Sunday before Christmas with nothing to play for. What do you think that's going to be? Loss! Loss. We suck because we lost again. Then we have to go to Buffalo. Home of Griselda. Buffalo are going to be playing for seeding because they knocked off the previously undefeated Kansas City Chiefs this past Sunday in Buffalo. You really think they're going to let their guard down against the most overrated team in the history of the NFL? Loss. And then we end the season. The regular season finale. The season finale against those same Miami Dolphins who will be playing for pride just like us, but will be playing just to make sure that they're above us in the standings. Loss. So to my calculations, I think the only game we might just win is Jacksonville, but being the fact that it's the Jets and we specialize in embarrassing victories or embarrassing losses, I think we're not winning another damn game. I think we're going to end the season losing. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13. 13 of the last 14 games. I think we're going to have a record of 3-14. And you know what's going to be worse? You know what's going to be bad? You know what's going to be worse is the fact that's not even going to guarantee us a top 3 pick. But at this point in time, I don't want a top 3 pick. You want to know why? Because we've had top 3 picks 2 times in the last 6 years. We drafted 2 quarterbacks, and we're now stuck with 40, soon to be 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who gives less than 2 fucks about our team, gives less than 2 fucks about our franchise. What else did you do? I could go on and on and on and talk about, but this, matter of fact, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to say before I get off this subject, before I get off this team and talk about whether or not Mike Steph bumped his mother effing head. You look at Aaron Rodgers. Yes, and I was fooled. I was bamboozled. I was hoodwinked. I was led astray. Yes, I admit to all that. But you look at him. What is he doing? He gets the ball in the shotgun. And I want to hear, oh, that's the quick hit. And he's doing him. You can't tell me these plays are drawn up for him to do what the fuck he's doing. Here's another stat. Since I'm chock full of them. I'm going to read straight from the box score. Aaron Rodgers, 22 of 29 for 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Is that supposed to get me hot and bothered? Devontae Adams had 7 targets, 6 receptions for 72 yards, a long of 24 yards. Breece Hall had 7 targets for 7 receptions for 43 yards. Garrett Wilson had 8 targets, 4 receptions. 1, 2, 3, 4 receptions. Forget this. How much you think? How many yards you think he got? 18 yards. 4.5 per reception with a long of 7. And you want to know why? Because as soon as Aaron Rodgers gets the ball, he throws it. Motherfuckers ain't even in their breaks. And then he gives them the look. Are you serious? Are you serious? He's officially washed. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Look at his mechanics. And I'm not saying he's always been the most technical passer, but he's throwing strictly from the waist up. He's not. Leave it up to Green Bay to give us 2 retreads that just so happen to come to the bright lights in big city and be exposed for the flawed players, for the flawed human beings that they always were in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We had Brett Favre, and now we have Aaron Rodgers. Combined, I think they played damn near 36 years with the Packers. And they come to the Jets, get a quick payday, show the ass, and in Favre's case, show a dick, and keep it moving. Only in this case, Aaron Rodgers has used the Jets for a glory hole. That darkness retreat. You know what? You know why he came out so enlightened? Because he was like, Eureka. I've got it. I can go to New York. They can give me all the money. They can give me all the power. And because they're the Jets, if I don't succeed, guess what? Nothing sticks on me. I'm rubber and they are glue. Whatever you throw bounces off me and sticks to you. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. I'm so enlightened. Yes. I don't approve of those buzzwords. No. The media, it's you. It's all about you. It's all your fault. There's nothing that's my fault. I exude leadership. I exude maturity. I exude championship timber. I exude geniusness. It's all you. It's all y'all. Your unwashed masses. He's the type of mother effer that will scratch his ass and sniff it and swear to God it smells like flowers when in reality it smells like compost. And that's actually giving him some credit that he's able to actually recycle shit. But anyway, it's been way too long talking about these mother effers. We suck. Yes. Making its return for the first time during this 2024 NFL regular season is my favorite segment, even though my pockets would say otherwise. Mike Steph must have bumped his mother effing head, aka my gambling recap for week 11 of this NFL season. See, this season, I always was where I was the self-proclaimed parlay king, even though for a while, tell you the truth, the majority of last season, I couldn't hit a parlay if my life depended on it. And luckily it didn't, because guess what? There would be no such thing as the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, and there would be no such thing as Mike Steph himself if my life depended on hitting parlays like I wish I was. So, have a friend at work that comes through my establishment, and she mentioned, well, shall I say, she introduced me to the world of round robins. And at first, I wanted to see how a round robin exactly worked. See, I was always go hard to go home, and I got tired of going home. So I was like, you know what? Go medium, and maybe at least go halfway home. And that's what I've done. I hit one round robin a couple weeks ago. Matter of fact, I'm going to look right now. Yes. Matter of fact, a month ago, I hit on November 3rd, 2024. The Cardinals, the Lions. Matter of fact, I'm lying. Yeah, I hit on the 3rd for a little bit. But here was the par excellence. October 11th. Yes. The Texans, the Steelers, the Falcons, the Lions, and the Bucks, they all covered. And I was in the money. So that's what I've been starting to do. I'll do a round robin, and then I'll do a little parlay, and combined, it'll give me some bread. It'll give me some bang for my buck. And as of today, I'm betting 500. I'm shooting 50%. And it started out so great. It started out wonderful. And I know y'all probably wondering, why do I have this picture of Kirk Cousins getting smashed by the Denver Broncos? More on that in a few minutes. It started out great, but something told my gut, you know what, Mike? If you don't have full conviction in your picks, maybe, because especially since you're out and about, you're not really concentrating on it, maybe you should just abstain this week. So I actually thought about that. Then I looked at next week's slate, and I'm like, you know what? I actually think I like these games better than next week. Not saying I'm going to abstain for next week, but you know what? I could pick some winners out this batch. Worse, I could hit a round robin, and at least leave with something, right? I'm gonna leave here with something. Yeah, best believe I'm leaving here with something. So I looked at the slate and I said, okay, the Rams, they're favored by 4 on the road against New England Patriots. Rams are kind of hot. Winners for 4 of the last 5. Patriots playing out the string. You know what? I think the Rams can win it. I think they can win by 4. And guess what? Bang! They covered 28-22. Then my next one was the Minnesota Vikings, favored by 6 over the Tennessee Titans. I was a little leery on this one, and I'm like, yo, the Vikings might win, but Sam Darnold might do some dumb shit and cause a backside cover. Well, a cover on the Titan side. But I was like, you know what? Gotta let it ride. Vikings covered 23-13. And I'm gonna roll. Then I had the Pittsburgh Steelers +3, an underdog. I was like, you know what? I gotta throw an underdog in there because there's no way in hell that I'm gonna hit with all favorites. One of those mother effers are gonna lose. The Pittsburgh Steelers were underdog +3 at home against the Ravens. They always play the Ravens tough, and tell you the truth, they always beat the Ravens at home. Even in the Ravens' best years, they always lose to the Steelers on the road. So I said, you know what? This is a chance to be one of those bare knuckle knockout draws. Even if the Steelers lose, they ain't losing more than a field goal. Guess what? Much to my surprise, and much to my happiness, they won. So bing. So what? That's 3. Yeah, that's 3. Round robin of 5. 5 is the choice. And then this is when the wheels start coming off. The Packers -6 over the Bears. There was a time that the Bears were actually winning this game. And I'm looking, I'm like, damn, not only are they not going to cover, matter of fact, they're going to lose. And even if they do win, they're probably not going to have enough time to actually cover. And guess what? The Bears lost on a blocked field goal at the end of the game, and they lost by 1. So that means the Packers won, but they did not cover. And something told me just to go money line on this, but I was like, it's the Bears. Fuck it. I don't have no confidence in the Bears. The wheels are coming off. That was my first mistake. But it wasn't my biggest mistake. Oh, no. You know what my biggest mistake was? Hence, let's bring this picture back up. My mistake was having confidence not only in Kirk Cousins, which is where I went wrong, but in the whole entire team of the Atlanta Falcons. And I made sure, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to go spread. I'm just going to go straight money line. So if they win by 1, it's all gravy. And at least I'll get some feedback. I'll get some kickback. Boy, was I wrong. They went into Denver and they got ramshotted. They got violated. They got penetrated from behind. They got sodomized. They just got destroyed by the Denver Broncos on the road, 38-6. So not only did I not hit a parlay, no. I did not even hit one of my round robins. And this is the second consecutive week. Tell you the truth. Yeah, this is the second consecutive week that the Falcons cost me bread. The Falcons cost me bread. Last week, the Falcons, I had them favored to beat the Saints, the pitiful Saints, right? Just coming off firing their head coach. You're supposed to be the elite of the NFC South. You're supposed to be able to beat the Saints, the Aints, if you will. Not only did they lose, of course they didn't cover. They cost me my round robin. Matter of fact, they cost me my parlay. Of course, my round robin with the Detroit Lions. But couldn't even get mad at them because, look, they won by 3. The spread was 3.5. So I'll give them some grace. But you know who I will not give grace to? Mr. Low Fat Beats. Because this mother effer, and yes, this should be another installment of texting etiquette, which I will not be abiding by. Only because he's not here, so I'm going to share his part. I texted him last week. Your team, man, messed up my bread. Didn't say shit. I forgot it was a rivalry game. So it's great touching that nerve. Just a little extra hard. Right? So that's when he called me while I was recording, hitting Gents football, and I forwarded the voicemail. Yeah, I wasn't ducking smoke, because you was ducking smoke. So today about 6:13, right before I got on the road to come home from our lovely weekend in the Pocono Mountains, I text him this in all capital letters. What the fuck is up with your team? Effed up my money. ... Again. I'm going to go so hard on them next episode. I actually was talking about HGF. I wasn't talking about here. You know what this mother effer did in return? He said, stop betting on my team. Shit. That's why they losing. Laughing emoji. Wasn't with the shits. 2 weeks in a row, bro. Trust. I'm leaving them the fuck alone. Capital TF. He returns and watch us start winning again, unlike your Jets. Ho! Damn. He gave me a low blow like I was Tyson and Jake Paul. Less said about that, the better. And then he continues. Funny part is earlier when I seen y'all was winning and I was going to text you and say y'all better not lose, but then I thought about it and didn't want to jinx y'all. And maybe I should have texted y'all. Ha 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 ha. So I respond. At this point, it's pure comedy, bro. I just laugh with disgust. In which his last response was, it's been comedy. All these laughing type of shit of fucking emojis. You don't believe me? It's been comedy. Yeah, and I left your ass on unread. So it brings me to the question of this segment. Has Mike Steph, matter of fact, Mike Steph must have bumped his motherfucking head. And you know why I must have bumped my mother effing head? It's because I'm allowing, I will not put the Jets in a parlay. I will not put any money on the Jets to do shit. But yet, I put money on the Jets of A-Town, the Atlanta Falcons. I put money on team down for himself, Kirk Cousins. I put money, I bet money that my brother, Low Fat B, loved to see me great. Would let me bask in my greatness, bask in my glory. Why would he want to do that? Listen, we're family. Yes, we're family. Through marriage, without marriage, we're family. Proudly call him my brother. Brother Mike, I see you. It's not just because, you know, I'm giving the sister some sexual healing. Yes, yeah, I said it. Sexual healing. Wake up, wake up. Feeling to me so good on me. I think you just to make me. I know that's something you didn't want to hear, but you think you got 2 nieces and 2 nephews by mistake? By miracle? By immaculate conception? No. Conception was there. Definitely. Pleasurable, too. And plentiful, to be exact. Yeah. So, not only did Mike Steph bump his mother effing head when it comes to these parlays, when it comes to picking the Atlanta Falcons and thinking that's actually going to turn bread into wine, turn water into wine, you know what I'm trying to say. Mike Steph bumped his head in plenty of places over the last 30 years. And you know what old saying, 2 heads are better than 1. hopefully, just hopefully, this will not be an episode in which my lovely wife uh, takes in. Tell you the truth, I actually prefer that she doesn't watch this episode. I know the support is always there. So, because if she does take in this episode, shoot, I just might be sleeping on the effing couch. And I said years ago, couch days are over. But something like this just might get me put on the couch. And that is this week's edition of Mike Steph Must Have Bumped His Mother Effing Head. Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of the Sultry Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making me in this here podcast the one y'all choose to listen to. I have some things up my sleeve that normally I would try to keep still up my sleeve, but in order for me to actually get the word out, it looks like I'm going to have to say it on this here podcast. Matter of fact, I'll save it in a few minutes. Yes. Next week will be more the same. Matter of fact, just remember, the Jets are on a bye week. So that means I'll actually have a little bit more of my sanity to give y'all, the unwashed masses out there. I know a lot of people are probably wondering, well, since the Jets season is over, why you keep on torturing us with this content? We just started, the NBA season a couple weeks ago. You're a Knicks fan. Yeah, I know. Why do I have all this Golden State paraphernalia on? That's either here or there. Why don't you give us some NBA talk? And you know what? You would be right. I should give y'all some NBA talk. So, unless something out the ordinary happens next week, maybe I'll talk about my New York Knicks. Maybe I'll talk about these mother effing Golden State Warriors. And I know y'all probably wondering, why did I just say that? They're 10-2. There's a lot of things. Yeah, the worm has turned in the apple when it comes to my fandom. Matter of fact, I wouldn't say fandom, but my infatuation with the Golden State Warriors. And not for the better. But yeah, we'll get into the NBA next week on the next edition of the Sultry Thoughts of Mike Steph. You know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is, right? It's that time. It's that time. That time that everybody loves.
Oh, fuck that! Clear, guys. Fuck that! You shut your mouth. Doesn't mean that this shit stops. The ref doesn't give a fuck.
I try to big up my people. I try to give them a little intro to the outro to the plug segment. And this mother...
Fuck that!
Clear, guys.
Fuck that! You shut your mouth. Doesn't mean that this shit stops. The ref doesn't give a fuck.
This cocksucker. I swear. One of these days. Bang, zoom! Anyway. Where should I begin? The Sultry Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, the audio version, it's available on the following platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music, amongst others. New episodes drop each and every Thursday. Catch me on the social medias. Catch me on Twitter, at least for a limited time only, because I'm about to leave, at Mike Stephens _. Catch me on the gram, at Mike _Steph. And catch me on TikTok, at Mike Steph _. Catch at me some bread. Because seeing this beautiful, ravishing face, this dancing face, this beautiful, ravishing body costs money. Give y'all 1080p Steph. Costs money. Cash at me. $ Donnie Mike. It'd be much appreciated. Much appreciated. Check out the audio version of the Sultry Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music, amongst others. New episodes drop each and every Thursday. And that's enough for that. Check out my blog, MikeSteph'Org.wordpress.com, for the latest And whatever the hell comes to my mind comes out of the mind of Mike Steph. Lately, it's been pretty much just a lot of posts of this here podcast, this here version, the video version, just in case YouTube decides to shadow ban me again. If you never see me on your stream, on your algorithm, check out MikeSteph'Org.wordpress.com for everything Mike Steph. Yes. And of course, check out.
Say it to you slowly and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
Gems Football, hosted by the Mojo King and myself, Mike Steph. New episodes drop 3 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, every Sunday. And they could be found in visual form on the 19 Media Group YouTube channel and in audio form on every, and when I say every, all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. Because when you
say
hear
it to you slowly and it may sound scandalous, I don't think that you can handle this.
You know, it's Hidden Gems Football. Football. Check out my brothers at Gimmick Infringement, Winchester and McDowell, each and every late Saturday night, late Sunday night, early Monday morning on the 19 Media Group YouTube channel and all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. Check out my brothers from the desert, Winchester and McDowell, Gimmick Infringement on the 19 Media YouTube channel, dropping each and every late Sunday night, early Monday morning, and on all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. Check this out.
And now, Gimmick Infringement.
Welcome, everybody, to the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner, Tyler McDowell Blank. And Tyler, we have been talking for 3 straight hours, and I have no regrets. How you doing today?
Likewise. I'm okay, man. I must confess, the Arizona Cardinals have started and I believe lost a game in heartbreaking fashion since we've started this not this podcast, but our conversation. No, man, you and I, we'll talk about this more in a little bit, but I think as the years continue, it's evident that these are the memories, these are the experiences that I really value spending my time on. We can catch highlights, this is why YouTube exists, but Gimmick Infringement takes precedent, man. Priority Jones.
Check out my brothers once again, Gimmick Infringement, Winchester and McDowell. They drop each and every late Sunday night, early Monday morning on the YouTube channel of the 19 Media Group and on all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. Now, for the news that y'all have all been waiting for. For AZ, hosted and created by Tyler McDowell Blanken. New episodes drop each and every Wednesday on the YouTube channel of For AZ and on all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. And please check out the website forazteach.org for the latest happenings, for the latest info on the movement that is For AZ. Now, right now, he is having a little series, a little mini series, if you will, recapping Abbott Elementary's 4th season. Usually about 2 episodes per episode. And before I get into this announcement, let him tell you.
I'm your host, Tyler McDowell Blanken, and I'm thankful you're here. I'm recording this on November 6th, 2024, 24 hours after Election Day. Today's heavy. Voters made decisions on the local, state, and federal levels yesterday. I love seeing how many people in my life posted their selfies with the I voted stickers, especially former students. Now, not all of them share my beliefs, but that's beside the point. We must continue to exercise our rights. I hope you can prioritize your wellness and spend time doing what brings you joy in these coming days and weeks. This episode, the third installment of our Abbott Elementary Season 4 series, will hopefully make you laugh and think. I welcome iHeartRadio and 19 Media's Jabari Davis to recap episodes 3 and 4. We discussed the season thus far, Janelle James's ascension since playing Ava, and the importance of Black-led shows in this current age of Hollywood. We begin our conversation with Jabari, who shares why he loves Abbott as a series. Please be sure to like this video, leave us a review, or even share with a friend. Enjoy.
4AZ, hosted and created and founded by Tyler McDowell Blanken. The 4AZ show podcast is available on the YouTube channel of 4AZ and on all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. The breaking news. Guess who is actually going to be a guest on 4AZ in an upcoming episode? Matter of fact, dare I say, an episode that's probably going to be dropping in a couple days. You're looking at him. Where I have been picked. I have been summoned to come and discuss Abbott Elementary, which, tell you the truth, he got me into watching. And after I get off here, I got to binge watch about 3 to 4 episodes so I can be up to par. But yeah, I'm so grateful that I'm actually going to be. I've been asked to come on this platform, come on that platform for AZ. I hope I do it justice. I'm quite sure I will, but you know, that old saying, when you get butterflies in your stomach, that usually means that you're gonna have a good job. Well, guess what? Probably tomorrow when I wake up, butterflies are gonna be floating around. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yeah, stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting. And quiet as kept. If there's no episode that comes out this week, that's probably because I'm gonna tell him, yo, this shit don't come out right, trash it. I'm not besmirching any of the reputation that he has built so far with 4AZ. And I'll let everybody know. Matter of fact, one way for y'all to find out, and that's to check out this Wednesday, 4AZ. No salty version. No. Classy version. Please check out my brother. You'll be glad you did. And last but definitely not least, check out Hit to the Games, hosted by Desmond Powell. Drops each and every other Friday on the 19 Media Group YouTube channel and on all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available. Now, I'm going to play a video because I really forgot to update the video that I have to promo. And then by that time, I'm going to let you know what's on tap for this current episode that just dropped this past Friday.
We transition to this second verse. I want to take some time to highlight who I believe is the latest rising star in hip hop, Doechii. All right, but just briefly, I want to offer my condolences to the family and friends of DJ Clark Kent, who recently passed away at the age of 57, and also offer my condolences and to underground, and I really want to say underground star Ka, or also known as Brownsville Ka, who also passed away in the recent days. And you know, starting off with Clark Kent, like, two things come to mind when I hear DJ Clark Kent. Number one, I think of how I compared him to Phil Jackson way back in my album breakdown for Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt, as Brooklyn's Finest is my favorite song off that album. And then secondly, I think of how it seemed like any hip hop documentary that I watched featured words from DJ Clark Kent. And it's like he had his hand in everything. And, you know, the same goes for Ka, who passed away recently as well. Like, I wasn't as familiar with him, but if you remember back when I interviewed Iron Emperor, he put me on and shared how much Ka meant to him, and which, to what I think many hip hop fans would agree, that Ka represented himself so authentic. He was the poster child of what it meant to be a quote unquote regular everyday man, but still serve his audience with dope music on his own time, own schedule, own rules, the whole nine.
This latest episode of Hip to the Games, hosted by Desmond Powell, Desmond revisits his thoughts on the Milwaukee Bucks' start to the season and details why he believes they are struggling to win games. Well, I'll tell you one thing, because they suck. My words, not his. Additionally, he discusses the Sixers' slow start as they deal with injuries to star players and a lack of a pacifier for the big baby in the middle, Joel Embiid. My words, not his. Then Desmond makes his predictions for the rap categories of the 2025 Grammys before ending with some praise for the Cleveland Cavaliers that at the time of that recording, they were 11-0. And how about this? Today, they won yet again to push their record to a perfect 15-0 start of the 24-25 NBA season. And also, the first dog of the week. Enjoy. And please share your thoughts with Desmond. And thank you for supporting him and supporting everybody that I listed in these blogs. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, this is a guilty pleasure of mine. Not because it's anything to feel guilty about. No. It's only because I just didn't create a banner yet. And best believe, I'm going to create a banner for this.
Things that make you blush, but trust us, it's a must. From awkward to taboo, we're here to guide you through. It don't matter if you're a bit of a prude, it's a prude awakening.
Yes, Prude Awakening, hosted by Jessica and Carmen. If you really want to know, Jessica Winchester and Carmen McDonald. Thank you. I didn't want to give out too much information, but kind of felt like Jessica Jessica and Carmen. No, it's kind of too short. So Winchester and McDonald. You see, that's probably why they're such a great couple. You got Brad and Tyler, Winchester and McDowell, and then you got the better half, Winchester and McDonald. Prude Awakening. And I'm going to read directly from their description. In this raw and revealing episode of
Things that make you blush, but trust us, it's a must.
In this raw and revealing episode of A Prude Awakening, Jessica and Carmen break down the uncomfortable reality of veteran homelessness, a topic we all know exists but rarely talk about. Our hosts sit down with Susan Bond, CEO of Esperanza and Escalante, an organization dedicated to supporting veterans in need, to support why so many who served our country end up on the streets. Suzanne shares light on the systemic gaps, the emotional and mental toll, and the uncertain future as funding needs loom. From personal stories to policy breakdowns, they are diving in deep to ask the tough questions. Who can we honor? Those who have served, if we fail to protect them here at home. This week's edition of
Things that make you blush, but trust us, it's a must. From awkward to taboo, we're here to guide you through. It don't matter if you're a bit of a prude, it's a prude awakening.
Yes. This past Saturday, this man,
your explosive division champion here. And you see, the champ struck first. Are you surprised that November 16th I'm going up against 3 hungry competitors who are after my championship belt? Absolutely not. Are each and every one of you surprised that I am still your explosive division champion? Absolutely. I've been going around left and right, month after month after month, defending this prestigious championship. And when everybody thought I was a one and done champ, I couldn't get it done. I proved you all wrong. I proved you all wrong. November 16th, it makes no difference. But why am I out here? Why am I out here? The champion shouldn't be out here talking about his opponents. My opponent should have been talking about the champ. And they ain't getting the job done, so I'll do the job for you. I'm going up against the freshly Trey Felipe. I'm going up against the king of the LDT, Choco Fly, and I'm going up against you, RAs. You've been coming back into IWA with a lot of surge and momentum. You've been spreading your sazon all around. Right now, you're probably drinking a mojito, probably thinking about what you're going to do, and the only thing is going to happen November 16th, like everybody else before you three, is you will fall at my reign. And when the haters in the back have to hear it one more time when they say, and still.
Now, that leads to question. Right now, it's November 17th/18th. We're going on 48 hours after that monumental championship match, championship defense. Did Larry Anderson retain? Is there a new IWA Explosive Division champion? Or can Larry Anderson still proclaim to be? There's only one way to find out. Check out Larry Anderson on Instagram at Larry Anderson _89 and hit him up. See if he won. See if he didn't win. See if he still has that bravado. But more importantly, see if he still has that championship. And while you do that, I'm going to do that. And maybe, just maybe, in the next week or so, we can get Mr. Anderson on here and he could tell you verbatim exactly what happened on November 16th. Eureka. I love it when a plan comes together. And with all that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I will see y'all next week. Until then.
Fuck that!
Clear, guys.
Fuck that! You shut your mouth. Doesn't mean that this shit stops. The Rec doesn't give a
No, that's not what I was trying to say. I'm going to play a little promo on my own. Check me out, boys. When Roman Reigns had the t-shirt, wreck everyone and leave, well, guess what? I need to come out with a t-shirt that says the following. Mike Steph, wreck the pussy and leave. Oh! Acknowledge me. No, don't acknowledge me. Acknowledge these. These nuts, that is. Yeah, I'm on a roll. I'm giving y'all my salty thoughts from my humble abode. Not only do we call this my humble abode, you know how Roman Reigns has his island of relevancy? Well, guess what? Mike Steph has his apartment of relevancy. Yeah. Pay rent every damn month to keep it relevant. Because if there's no rent, there's no relevancy.
Overcame the damaging anger, overtook 2 years of managing my animals, thoughts apathetic, mixed with passionate, the life or death of Mike Steph couldn't be more accurate. Been a long road, overcame the damaging anger, overtook 2 years of managing my animals, thoughts apathetic, mixed with passionate, the life or death of Mike Steph couldn't be more accurate. Only 1-on-1, never a comparison. Keep my hurt hidden, free from embarrassment. But if I lash out, you're the target of harassment. Better for my mental to start my own management. 30 years battling, enemy, battered man, gave it all up. And the real things that matter, and do I miss it? Maybe, but there's no turning back again. New adventures great, but the 6 Flags unraveling. Others understanding, ain't top priority. Brothers pushing 50, craving for authority. Sensitive Ralphs need to stay far from me. So used to Donnie. They ignore the calm of me, learning not to let it bother me. Keep them farther from me, at my best when I'm threatened, but they keep cornering me. See all the signs, box them out, no bordering me. Can't afford states, tune out the demons calling on me. Been a long road, overcame the damaging. Anger overtook me, 2 years of managing. In the most thoughts, apathetic, mixed with passionate. The life or death of Mike Steph couldn't be more accurate.